This conference will now be recorded.
Class is a collection of variables and functions I have mentioned. Next, what is object? Instance of class. What is the use of that object? Yama. What is the use of object? Yeah. To call the members of a class, we can take the help of this particular object. Clear, right? Okay. Now, how that particular, what do you say, classes will be there and objects will be there, how that will get invoked, all those things we are going to see right now. Are you able to see my screen? Yes or no? Yeah. You can see here I have got a class. The class name is student. Class name is student. Within that class, I have got one function whose name is display. Is it clear? Within that class, I have got one function whose name is display. Now, remember one important point over here, ma. All the functions as well as constructors. Later, I'll teach you what is that constructor, all those things. All the functions and constructors of the class will take one parameter by default, that is self. Is that clear? All the functions and the constructor of the class will take one parameter, that is self. Here you can say self parameter. That means it denotes that it is a member of this class. Display is a member of that particular class. What that display function is doing, it is just printing simple student. Is that clear? Display is a member of student class, and it is as denotes that it is a display is a member of the class. With the help of self, it is denoting within that particular display what we are doing. It is just simply printing student. Okay. How can we?
So when we put display, we cannot just put normal bracket. We have to put self in that. Is it a rule? We have to put.
Yeah, that is the rule, ma'am.
Self
All
is
the
keyword.
class should take self as parameter. That is the rule.
So it's a keyword. Self is a keyword which we have to just put, right?
Correct, correct.
Okay.
Clear,
Yeah.
right? Next. How we can call? You can see with the indentation itself, you can get to know that this is there under the student class. How we can call that particular display function? There are totally two different ways, ma. Let me show you. This is first way. S equal to student. That means for student class, you can see for student class, I'm creating an object S. Okay, now for student class, I'm creating an object S. With that object, I'm calling the member of that class. See, dot operator will help us to invoke the member of that particular class. That is display. Is that clear? Yes or no? Yes. So, with the help of dot operator and this object, we are getting into student class. We will look for display function. Control will transfer to display. This statement will get printed. You can check it out. The result, simple student. Clear, Nama? Yes. This is one way. next way is, instead of you creating the object and calling it directly, you can access it in this fashion. See, directly student dot display. That means we are calling display function available in student class. Even this works and generates the output display. Clear, right? Now my question is, which one is better? Either the first way or second way? Shushma, is that clear, ma? Okay, first one. Why? Why first one, ma? Yes is there. So that if we import a class, we can call it. Okay, let me tell you. See, whatever you said, this one, first way is correct. But why the first way is correct? Let me tell you the reason. Let's say the student class has got multiple functions. If you need to call all those functions, what will happen? S dot display, S dot display 1, S dot display 2, like this. Multiple functions with a single object S only you can call it, where only one memory will get wasted. When it comes to this case, if you see student brackets dot display, again student brackets dot display 1, display 2, like this, how many ever times you are specifying student brackets, that many memories will get wasted now. Is that clear? How much ever memory you are wasting, that much performance will be degraded, as well as memories you cannot get it back. This kind of so many scenarios you have to face it. So be careful. The first type, as we have got a proper object, that particular object will help us in accessing whatever we want. Clear, right? Yes or no? Now we'll go for, so S is object. Yes, ma'am. S is the object. Can I go for next one? In second case, there is no object. Yes, ma'am. In second case, there is no object. That's why that is not preferred. Okay. Now we'll go for next one. See here. This time we have got display function which is taking two parameters, A and B. You should never consider self as parameter for that function, ma. Self is basically meant for denoting that it is a member of that class. That's it. You should not use self as a parameter. Clear, right? Okay. Now, here I have created one display function which is taking two parameters, A and B. That A and B, we are performing addition and printing it. With sum. How to supply the parameters? Either you can supply it in this fashion, otherwise you can supply it in this fashion also. See, student dot display 10, 20. 10 will be assigned to A, 20 will be assigned to B. That performs addition and displays the result. You can see the result. Sum and 30. Clear, right? Sushma.
So here self should not be used, no sir. But
Yeah, self we should not consider for passing parameters now.
okay. But here we took it, right?
Yeah, we will be having self, but you should not assign any parameters to that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, then?
Yeah.
Fine. Now, so far what we have did, we have created a simple class, and we have got a one function, where for that function we have got parameters, everything we have did. Now we are going to say next concept, that is inheritance. Okay, na? Clear, right? Okay. Now write on heading inheritance. 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 It is a process of. It is a process of. Deriving background noise is there now. It is a process of deriving the characteristics from existing class to What, could you please mute it, Krishna? Okay. Right on. Inheritance. It's a process of deriving the characteristics from. It's a process of deriving the characteristics from existing class to new class. New class is called as inheritance. Clear? Yes or no? Okay. Next, write on heading base class. Heading base class. The class which provides the characteristics. The class which provides the characteristics is called as base class. The class which provides the characteristics is called as base class. Next, write down about derived class. The class which acquires the characteristics. The class which acquires the characteristics then it is called as derived class. Okay, then? Yes, sir, Rama. Okay. First of all, what is meant by inheritance, ma? In general terminology? Hello. In general terminology, what is meant by inheritance? Getting characteristics of parent. Yes, correct, no? Getting the characteristics of parents is called as inheritance. Okay, na? Okay. Now, in this inheritance, the parent class is what called as base class, which will be ready to provide the features. Clear, right? Which will be ready to provide the features. Next, the class, child class. The class which acquires the features is what called as derived class, otherwise child class. Is that clear? The class which acquires the features is called as child class, otherwise derived class. That means child class will get the features of base class and it performs the operations on its own. Okay? Now, my question is, what is the use of inheritance, ma? What is the use of inheritance? Any idea? Okay. Yes. Basically, the use of inheritance is reusability, ma. That means whatever base class is holding the logic, functions, whatever it is, that in the derived class, again, instead of you defining again and again, we can take it from the base class and we can use it here. Got my point, right? Let's take an example. You and your kids are there. You have earned some 10 lakhs rupees. So your kid, instead of starting from 0 rupees and earning 10 lakh rupees in his lifetime, he can start from your money, right? That means from 10 lakhs rupees, he can start it up, right? That he can reuse your money, what you have earned, he can reuse it and he can go further, like 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs rupees. Got my point, right? Okay. So in this way, reusability is what the major concept here. Because of reusability, we can perform various set of operations in less lines of code only. Now, we are going to see how many ways we can derive the features, how many types of inheritances are there in this examples. Okay, now? First, write down single inheritance. Single inheritance. It is a process of deriving the characteristics from one base class to one derived class, then it is called as single inheritance. Clear, right? One base class to one derived class. Now that means one parent will be there, one child will be there. From that particular parent, the child will get the features. Clear, right? Yes or no, ma? Yes. Okay. How that particular single inheritance will be there, we are going to see right now. Okay. Before getting into that single inheritance, ma, I have to ask a question. The question is, say, you have earned 10 lakhs rupees in your lifetime. Okay, na? In your whole lifetime, you have earned some 10 lakhs rupees. Now, from you, your child will be deriving that features and he will enhance it further. That means he will make it something 10 lakhs plus some X rupees. He made it. Now, my question is, from whom, if I rob, I will get more money? Either from you, otherwise from your kid. What about you, ma? Okay, from kid only. Correct, na? See, here I am not going to come and rob from you or your kid. The thing is, in inheritance, for which class the object need to be created is what the important concept here. If you go for base class, if you go for derived class, from the base class, derived class will get the features. Correct, na? From the base class, derived class will get the features. Let me explain it in a paint better. This is base, this is derived. From base, derived will get the features. This is derived class. So whatever these features are there, plus whatever his features are there, both are accessible by him. So whenever I create an object for this derived class, I can access this class features, I can access this class features also. Is that clear? That's why we will create object for most derived class ma. In inheritance, we'll create object for most derived class so that we'll get more features. For suppose, here if you create object only for base class, you can get only base class features. That's why we won't create object only for base class. We'll create object for derived class. Remember this point, very important point now. Okay, na? In this concept, whatever I said, it doesn't mean that you cannot create object for base class. You can create, but you will get less features. So only for extra benefits, we are going with derived class. Now, let me show you how this single inheritance will be there in our programming. Yeah. See. Here we have got a base class which is having get a function. Class name, it can be anything, ma. Here for your easy understanding sake, I am providing the class name as base. So you can check it out. Here we have got a base class which is holding get a function as well as get b function. Get a function is returning the value 10. Get b function is returning the value 20. Is that clear? Yes or no? Now you can see class derived. This derived class is deriving the features of base class. That means we are creating a relation between base class as well as derived class in this way. So all the base class concepts and features available can be accessed by derived class. Okay, na? All the base class features which are available can be accessed by derived class. Now, see how we will access, what we will do. You can see we will start our program execution from here. For derived class, see, for derived class, we are creating an object D. With that object, I am calling some function. So whenever you call some function, control will get into derived class. Okay, looks for some function, it is there. Then see here, self dot get a, we are calling get a function over here. Whenever you call get a function, first control looks for get a function in its own class. If it is available, it will pick up that one. If it is not available, then by seeing this, control will go to base class. Here get A is there. That returns 10. Is that clear so far, ma? First self dot get A, it looks for its own class. If not, by seeing this, it will go to base class. So from base class as it is available, it picks up. Here self acts like a object. It is not like a self acts like a object, ma. It will make sure that it will pick up members of our class and our relation only. Okay, na? Yes. It will enable to pick up our members only. Okay. As it is not available in our own class, it will go for base class. Here get A function is there, which returns 10 plus self dot get B. Again, we are looking for get B function. We will search for get B function in its own class, where get B function is not available. By seeing this, control will go to base class. Here get B function, it is returning 20. So 10 plus 20, 30 will be displayed over here. Clear, right? Whenever you call some function, you will get the result in this fashion. See? Yes. Now, Meenakshi, is that clear now? If you observe this one properly, the get A and get B function which are available in the base class, we are reusing it. The logic available, we are reusing it in the derived class. That's why this is what called as reusability with respect to our object-oriented programming language, where inheritance will provide more set of reusabilities more. Among that, this is what the one of the example. Next, right on. Next type, that is multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. It is a process of deriving the characteristics from derived class itself, then it is called as multi-level inheritance. Okay, ma? Now, see here. Previously, we were considering only one parent, one child. Right now, what we will consider? We will consider parent and its child. For this particular child, he will have one more child. This person will have one more child. Like this, we won't restrict it to one generation only. Previously, we were restricting it to one generation only. Right now, there will not be any restriction for one generation. From him, he will derive. 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 Clear, right? Yes or no? Yes. Now for the last derived class, this is the last child. For last child, we have to create an object over here. Remember. Is that clear, ma? Ma Meenakshi. Hello. Are you there with me, Ma? What happened to her? Is she there? Now let me open multi-level inheritance, how that looks. Okay. Meenakshi, are you there, Ma? Yes. Okay. So far it is clear, right? Now see here. We have got one base class. We should not start our explanation from here because execution will never start from top. It will start from bottom, from where the object is created. So even you start understanding the code from the bottom so that you can understand it properly. Is that clear, Ma? Now, see here. For last derived class, I am creating an object LD. See, last derived class, I am creating an object LD. Then I am calling AVG function. So control will look for AVG function in last derived class. Is that clear? Where this AVG, what it is doing, we are calling sum, self.sum. Whatever sum returns, that sum value by 2 we are doing over here. Is that clear, Ma? Shushma? If one person responds, other person will not respond. I don't know what happens here. Okay. So we are calling sum by 2. Whenever you are calling sum, first control will look for sum function in its own class. If it is not available, by seeing this, control will go to its base class, that is derived class. Here sum function is there. What this sum function is doing? It is returning the sum of get A plus get B. What is this get A? Again, control will look for get A in its own class as it is not there. By seeing this, control will go to base class. Here, get A function is returning 10. Then we are calling get B. This returns 20. 10 plus 20, 30 will be returned to this. 30 by 2, 15 will be printed here. You can check it out. Clear, Nama? Both of you. Yes. So here, there is no restriction for only one level. It is just like multiple levels we can derive, like 8 from base class to derived class to last derived, from last derived to another derived class. Like this, how many ever levels you want, you can derive it. Is that clear? Sushma, you are not responding, ma. Okay, done. This is how your multi-level inheritance will be there. Now, read on. Heading. Hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. It is a process of deriving the characteristics from one base class to more than more than one derived classes, then it is called as hierarchical inheritance. Clear? Previously, if you just check it out, we used to have the childs like this only, one child only we were considering. Right now, we will consider multiple childs. It is not like only one child, multiple childs will be there. Like this. More than one child, either you have two, either you have n childs, that doesn't matter. Is that clear? Yes or no? Yeah. Now my question is, for which child we should create object, For which child we should create object? All childs. What about you, Meenakshi? Yes. For all childs, we should create objects. Correct. Now, how we will create objects for all the childs, how to perform the operations is what we are going to see right now. Okay, na? Now, see here, we have got class base. Again, I'll start from the last. F1 equal to add. That means for add class, I'm creating an object F1. With that object, I'm calling sum function. So control will go to add class and looks for sum function. So control went to add, sum function is there. What this sum function will do? It will call self.getA plus self.getB. Self.getA means this one. Self.getB means this one. So 10 plus 20, 30 will be displayed over here. Is that clear? For this, that is the base class. Okay. Next. Again, we are creating an object, second object for minus class. See, minus class is there. For that, I have created object. I'm calling sub function. Where this sub function will go to base class and pick up get A and get B. So it will do subtraction and displays the result. So you can check it out. 30 and minus 10 will be displayed over here. Clear, right? Yes. This is how your hierarchical inheritance will be there. Now, we'll go for next one. Read on heading. Multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. It is a process of deriving the characteristics from more than one base class to one derived class, more than one base class to one derived class, then it is called as multiple inheritance. Clear, ma? Now, see, that means opposite to this one. This is like multiple parent classes and one child class will be there. Then this will be considered as multiple inheritance. So here, for which one we should create object, ma? Hello? For which one we should create object? The derived class. Yes. The derived and the only one child class, whatever we have, that particular child class, we should create object. Let me show you how that looks. Multiple. Okay. See here now. We have got class base 1. We have got class base 2. As usual, we will start our program execution from the bottom. For the add class, we are creating an object x. Then with the x, I am calling some function. So control will go to add class. Here you can see we have got base 1 features derived, base 2 features also derived. Like this, how many other classes you want to derive the features, with the comma separator you can derive the features. Next, we are deriving the features from base 1, base 2. Here we have got a sum function, self dot get a. So whenever you are calling get a, control will look for get a function in its own class. If it is not there, it will look for nearest to base class. Nearest to base class is base 2. It is not there. Then next to nearest, base 1. So it is finding here. It returns 10. Then again get b. That is not available in its own class. It looks for nearest to base class, that returns 20. So 10 plus 20, 30 will be displayed here. Clear, right? Yes. Okay. What about you, Sushma? What happens if same name for the function? Actually, that is what called as ambiguity, ma'am. You should not give same name for the both the functions in the base class. In such cases, you have to use certain different technologies. What is that different concept? I'll teach you. But mostly, whenever we are writing the code, we should not use same names. That's what you have to avoid ambiguity. Because of this ambiguity reason only, in C++, we have got what you say multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance. But in Java, we didn't have multiple and hybrid inheritance. They have removed it. Clear, right? Okay. Next. Now, final type of inheritance is hybrid inheritance. Make a note. It is a combination of all the 4 types of inheritances is called as hybrid inheritance. Got my point, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Now, Here, if you observe, this is single inheritance. This is single. This is single. This is single. Like this, we have got single inheritance. Next, if you just look into this one, these three, it is multi-level. Otherwise, these three, if you look, this is multi-level. So even multi-level is there. If you look at this, this is hierarchical. Now, if you look at this, this is multiple. Clear, right? Yes or no? Yes. Like this, we have got, what you say, all the four types of inheritances available within our hybrid inheritance. Clear, right? Can I open next one? Yes. How this particular hybrid inheritance will be there, how to perform the operations, all those things we are going to see now. Next. Okay, anyway, the work with paint is done. Now hybrid. Okay. You can see we will start from the object, that is last derived class. I'm creating an object where this particular class is deriving the features from derived 1 as well as derived 2. Now here we have got avg function. We are calling that avg function only. What this avg function is doing, it is calling self.sum as well as self.sub. What is this sum? By seeing this, control will look for nearest to base class. In the nearest base class, sum function is not there. So which is the next base class? This one. Here sum is there, which is returning get a plus get b. What is get a and get b? By seeing this, control will look for get a and get b in the base class. 10 plus 20 will be returned. So 30 will be reached to this one. Then we are calling sub. By seeing this one, it looks for sub function in the nearest base class. Here it is there. Get b minus get a. What is this get b get a? It looks for get b get a in the base class. 20 minus 10. So finally the result will be 40. Clear, ma? Check it out. Okay. Sushma. So this is what your hybrid inheritance and all the five types of inheritances is all about. Next, we are going to start up with next concept. Before getting into next concept, I wanted to ask you a question, ma. The question is this one. Could you please tell me the output for this program? Hello. Are you guys with me? What's the output for this program? 100 plus 100 plus 20. Okay. What about you, mom? Meenakshi? Confused a little bit. Okay. See here, mom. 10 or 100. Okay. Fine. See, for the derived class, we are creating object. Okay. We are calling sum function. What this sum function is doing? It is calling get a. Whenever you are calling get a, first control will look for get a function in its own class. See, in our own class, get a function is there, which returns 100. Okay, fine. Then again we are calling get a. Whenever you are calling get a, control will look for get a function in its own class. Here it is there, that returns 100. So 100 plus 100. Then we are calling get b. Whenever you are calling get b, control will look for get b in its own class. As it is not finding, it will go for base class. So 20. So finally the result is 220. Is that clear, ma? Okay. What about you, ma? Meenakshi? Now, this concept is called as overriding. See, in the base class, already get a function is there. We are defining same kind of function in the derived class. Internally, of course, different logic. And we are hiding that function visibility only. Whenever, how many times you call get a, that function will not be visible only. That function will not be accessible. How many other times you call nearest? That means our class only will be taken as priority. Got my point, right? Yes or no? Okay. This is what called as function overriding. How to avoid this function overriding, all those things in tomorrow's session I'll teach you. By the way, I have got a question, one more question on this one. The question is, why is this overriding needed? Got my point, right? Why is this overriding needed? You don't want to inherit. Okay. If you don't want to inherit. Next. Any other one? Let me tell you how this overriding will help us. See, let's say our developers, what they will do, we will take Android only into consideration. Already they have released one version of Android. After releasing that particular version of Android operating system into the market, after some months, users started complaining, saying that this functionality is not working, that functionality is not working, something and all. So immediately our developers, what they will do, they will find the issues, which function is not proper. Next, immediately they will release the updates also. What that update will do, already existing function will get overridden by this new update. Whenever if user starts invoking any function, it will call latest function only. Old function will not be visible. Got my point, right? Yes. Overriding in one way, this is best, ma. Even if it is overridden, how can you call base class function and other things in tomorrow's session we are going to continue. Is that clear? And by the way, ping your mail IDs to my mobile in WhatsApp so that I can send you the programs to your mail ID. Okay? Fine. See you tomorrow at the same time. Bye.
Sir, should I sign out